This video will show you how to divide decimal dividends by non-unit decimal divisors. Let's look at the first problem that has two parts. I'll show you the first part, and then I want you to try the second part on your own before I show you. We have 2 divided by 1/10, and then 2 divided by 2/10. Now, remember that when we have a division problem like this, we can write it as a fraction. So 2 divided by 1/10 could easily be written as 2 over 1/10, using that 1/10 as a decimal. And to get 1/10 into a whole number, I know that I can multiply it by 10, because that'll give me 1 whole. And what I do to the bottom, I want to do to the top, because it's a fractional 1. And so I will multiply across then. 2 times 10, which would give me 20. 1/10 times 10 would give me 1 whole. So then I have 20 over 1, which simplifies to 20. Now we're doing this within a fraction algorithm, multiplying it by a fractional 1. We're not worrying about the typical division setup yet. Right now we're just looking at this. So what I want you to try is divide 2 divided by 2/10 on your own. And when I solve this doing it the same way, I have 20 over 2/10, and again I multiplied it by 10/10. I could have chosen 100 1/100ths or another number, but 10's simple and straightforward. I can do that. And then multiply straight across. 2 times 10, which gives me 20. 2/10 times 10 gives me 2. 20 divided by 2, or 20 over 2, or 20 halves, however you want to look at it, is the same as 10. Let's look at the next problem. We have 2 4/10 divided by 2/10, and 2 4/10 divided by 4/10. We're going to set this up the same way. So we're going to start with 2 4/10 as our numerator and 2/10 as the denominator. And because I'm in tenths, I'm going to multiply it by tenths once again, and I'm going to do 10/10 as my fractional 1. And this is a little bit different than last time because my numerator has a decimal. So 2 4/10 times 10 actually gives me 24. And 2/10 times 10 gives me 2. And when I simplify 24 halves, or 24 divided by 2, it gives me 12. Now I want you to try 2 4/10 divided by 4/10 on your own. When I solve this, I have 2 4/10 divided by 4/10. I'm multiplying it by 10/10, which gives me 24. And then I'm going to do 4/10 times 10, which gives me 4, and 24 divided by 4, 24/4 gives me 6. Let's look at the next problem. 1 6/10 divided by 4/100ths, 1 68/100ths divided by 4/100ths. I want you to try both of these on your own before I show you how, and pay attention to what your denominator is going to be, and see if that helps you determine what your fractional 1 will be. When I solved this first one, I had 1 6/10 divided by 4/100ths. I multiplied it by a fractional 1 of 100 1/100ths because I have 4/100ths here. If I just did it by tenths, I'd still end up with 4/10. And I want to make sure that I have a whole number as my divisor. And 1 6/10 times 100 gives me 160. 4/100ths times 100 gives me 4. And 160 divided by 4 gives me 40. Go ahead and try the second part again and see if it changes your product, or your quotient, excuse me. When I solve this problem, I again multiplied it by 100 1/100ths as my fractional 1, giving me 168/4, and when you divide it out, you see that we have 42. Try this last problem on your own again. 1 68/100ths divided by 12/100ths. Okay, I wrote down the problem the same way. Again, I multiplied it by 100 1/100ths because my denominator is in hundredths. Okay, when I multiply it out, I have 168/12ths, and when I simplify that, I see that my solution is 14. When you're solving these problems for this lesson and the next lesson or two, I do want you to write out this entire process. I like it horizontally because it flows from left to right. Some people prefer it vertically, and it'll go top to bottom. That's your choice which direction you go, but I do want you to include all this information for now.